I'm Isaiah, and I learned the hard way that sometimes the person you think loves you is just measuring your bank account. Isaiah, honey, we need to talk about something important, my fiancée Madison said one evening over dinner. Sure, what's on your mind? I asked. Well, I've been thinking about our future together, and I want to make sure we're both protected, she said. I think we should get a prenup. I raised my eyebrows. A prenup? What brought this on? My father insisted on it, she explained. You know how successful my family is. Daddy's worried about protecting the family assets, my trust fund, the properties, everything. It's not personal, baby. It's just business. I understand, I said. Your dad's just looking out for you. Exactly. I knew you'd get it, she beamed. You're so understanding, Isaiah. That's why I love you. You're not like those other guys who just want me for my money. Her friend Tasha, who joined us for dessert, chimed in. Madison, you're so smart. My cousin married without a prenup and lost everything in the divorce. See? It happens all the time, Madison agreed. Isaiah, you work at that little tech startup, right? What do you make, like $60,000 a year? Something like that, I replied. That's what I thought, she said. So you understand why we need to protect my assets. The prenup will basically say that what's mine stays mine, and what's yours stays yours. Sounds fair, I said. What Madison didn't know was that I wasn't just some mid-level employee. I was the founder and CEO of that little tech startup, which had just been valued at $847 million. I'd kept a low profile deliberately, driving a modest car, living in a regular apartment, wearing simple clothes. I'd seen too many friends get burned by gold diggers, so I'd decided to test Madison before revealing my true worth. Over the next few weeks, Madison became increasingly pushy about the prenup. Isaiah, my lawyer Drew sent over the paperwork, she said one morning. Just sign here, here, and here. Shouldn't I have my own lawyer look at this? I asked. Why would you need that? She laughed. It's standard stuff. Besides, lawyers are expensive. You probably can't afford one anyway, right? You're probably right, I said. Great. Just sign it and we can start planning the wedding, she urged. But I didn't sign. Instead, I called my lawyer, Patricia Chen, who'd handled all my business deals. Patricia, I need you to look at something, I said during our meeting. She read through the prenup carefully, her expression growing darker. Isaiah, this is terrible. This isn't just protecting her assets. This is a trap. What do you mean? I asked. Look at Clause 47, she pointed. It says any assets acquired during the marriage, even if purchased with your money, become community property subject to equal division. And Clause 63 states that any hidden assets discovered after marriage must be disclosed within 30 days or they default to her ownership. So if I inherit money or make money, she gets half or all of it? Exactly. And Clause 89 says any premarital assets not disclosed before signing this document are presumed to be marital assets, Patricia explained. Isaiah, this prenup is designed to trap someone with hidden wealth. Does Madison know about your company? No, I've kept it quiet. Then she's setting you up. Sign this, marry her, and the moment she discovers your real net worth, she'll file for divorce and claim you hid assets. According to this prenup, she'd be entitled to everything. My stomach turned. How can we prove she knows what she's doing? We need evidence, hard evidence of her intentions. That's when I hired Marcus Webb, a private investigator. Marcus, I need to know if my fiancé is planning to con me, I said in his office. Give me 2 weeks, he replied. 2 weeks later, Marcus called me. Isaiah, you need to sit down for this, Marcus said. Just tell me, I demanded. I've got recordings. Madison's been meeting with her lawyer, Drew Hutchinson. They've been planning this for months, to marry you, find proof of your wealth, then divorce you and take everything. Send everything to my lawyer immediately. When I met with Patricia, she played the recordings. Madison's voice came through. Drew, what if he really is poor? Drew responded, Then you divorce him after a year. But I've done some digging. That startup he works for? It's been getting serious investor attention. I think he's playing poor. So what do I do? Get him to sign the prenup, Once you're married, hire a forensic accountant. If he's hiding money, we'll find it, and that prenup means it all becomes yours. And he won't suspect anything? Why would he? You're the rich one, remember? Madison laughed. This is perfect. Tasha said I was crazy, but I knew something was off about him. I felt sick listening to her. There's more, Patricia said, playing another recording. Madison talking to Tasha. Girl, if this works out, I'm going to be so rich. Drew says we could get hundreds of millions if Isaiah is hiding what we think he's hiding. But what if he finds out? Tasha asked. He won't. He's too nice, too trusting. That's why I picked him. You're terrible, Tasha laughed. I'm smart, Madison corrected. Patricia stopped the recording. Isaiah, we have everything we need. What do you want to do? I want her to face consequences, I said firmly. I called my older brother Carlos, who was a prosecutor. Carlos, I need your advice, I said when we met. What's going on, little bro? I explained everything. That's fraud, Carlos said immediately. She's entering into a marriage contract with intent to defraud you. Can we press charges? Absolutely, but we need her to go on record lying about the prenup's purpose. Right now, a defense attorney could argue she was just venting. So what do I do? You're going to wire up and have a conversation with her. Get her to admit what she's planning. 2 days later, I sat across from Madison wearing a wire. Madison, I've been thinking about this prenup, I started. What about it? She asked, alert. It seems one-sided. What about protecting me from you? She laughed. Isaiah, what exactly do I need to protect you from? You don't have anything. What if my company does well, or I inherit something? Then we'll deal with it then, she said dismissively. But the prenup says, the prenup protects both of us equally, she interrupted. Does it? I had a friend who's a paralegal look at it. You showed someone my private legal documents? Madison's voice rose. That's a violation of trust. Why are you so defensive? I'm not defensive. I just think it's insulting that you don't trust me. Then explain Clause 47. Explain why anything I earn becomes community property, but your trust fund stays separate. Madison's expression changed. Who have you been talking to? Does it matter? Is it true? She stood up. You know what, Isaiah? Maybe we should postpone the wedding. Because I asked questions? Because you clearly don't trust me, she snapped. Should I? I asked quietly. The recording caught everything. Her deflection, her anger, her refusal to explain. The next day, I called Madison and asked her to meet me at Patricia's office. Why do we need to meet at a lawyer's office? Madison asked suspiciously. Because we need to talk, and I want everything documented, I said calmly. When Madison arrived with Drew, she found me sitting in Patricia's conference room with Carlos and Marcus. What is this? Madison demanded. Sit down, Madison, I said. I don't think, Drew started. Mr. Hutchinson, you'll want to sit down too, Patricia interrupted. This concerns you directly. They sat, both looking nervous. Madison, I want you to listen to something, I said, nodding to Marcus. He played the recording of Madison and Drew discussing their plan to defraud me. Madison's face went white. Where did you get that? That's not important, Carlos said. What's important is that you've been caught planning to commit fraud. That's taken out of context, Madison stammered. Really? Patricia asked. Let's hear the context then. Please explain how, if he's hiding money, we'll find it, and that prenup means it all becomes yours, can be taken any other way. Drew stood up. My client won't be answering any questions without... Your client is you, Mr. Hutchinson, Carlos interrupted. You're on those recordings too. You helped plan this fraud. You drafted a prenuptial agreement with the specific intent to defraud my brother. I did no such thing. Then explain why Clause 89 presumes all undisclosed premarital assets become marital property, Patricia challenged. That's not standard language. That's a trap designed to catch someone with hidden wealth. I want a lawyer, Drew said. You are a lawyer, Marcus pointed out. A lawyer who's about to be disbarred. Madison started crying. Isaiah, please. This is all a misunderstanding. I love you. Do you? I asked coldly. Because on the recordings, you told Tasha you picked me because I was too nice and too trusting. I didn't mean it like that. How did you mean it then? She couldn't answer. Madison, here's what's going to happen, Patricia said, sliding papers across the table. You're going to sign this statement admitting to your fraudulent intent. You're going to return the engagement ring, and you're going to accept a restraining order preventing you from contacting Isaiah ever again. And if I don't? Madison asked defiantly. Carlos smiled. Then I file criminal charges for conspiracy to commit fraud. You'll face up to 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Drew here will lose his law license and face his own criminal charges. You can't prove anything. We have hours of recordings, Marcus said. We have the fraudulent prenup. We have Isaiah's recorded conversation with you where you refused to explain the clauses and became hostile when questioned. Drew, do something, Madison pleaded. Drew looked at the papers in front of him. Madison, I think you should sign. They have us dead to rights. If we fight this, we'll both end up in prison. Madison's hands shook as she signed the papers. I can't believe you're doing this to me, Isaiah. I'm doing this to you? I asked incredulously. You tried to con me out of hundreds of millions of dollars. Her head snapped up. Hundreds of millions? Did you really think I was stupid enough to date you without checking you out first? I asked. I knew exactly who you were, Madison. What you didn't know was who I really am. I don't understand, she whispered. Patricia pulled out a document. Isaiah isn't just an employee at that tech startup. He's the founder and CEO. The company was valued at $847 million last month. Madison's face went from white to green. No, that's not possible. It's very possible, I said. And if you'd actually loved me instead of trying to rob me, you would have been part of that life. But you got greedy. Isaiah, please. Sign the papers, Madison. Take your restraining order and go. Drew had already signed, knowing his legal career was over either way. 3 months later, I sat in Patricia's office reviewing the final settlement. So it's done? I asked. It's done, Patricia confirmed. Madison signed the agreement. Drew surrendered his law license to avoid criminal prosecution. The state bar is investigating his other cases. What about Madison? She's broke. Her father cut her off when he found out what she tried to do. Carlos walked in holding coffee. I just came from the courthouse. Madison tried to file a civil suit claiming emotional distress. You're kidding, I said. The judge threw it out in about 30 seconds, Carlos laughed. He said, and I quote, hiding your wealth from a gold digger isn't entrapment, counselor. It's common sense. Case dismissed. We all laughed. How are you doing, little bro? Carlos asked. Honestly, I'm relieved, I said. I keep thinking about what would have happened if I just signed that prenup. You'd be in divorce court right now, fighting to keep your own company, Patricia said. My phone rang. It was Marcus. Isaiah, thought you'd want to know. Madison just got arrested, Marcus said. For what? She tried the same scam on someone else, a real estate developer in Miami. He called the cops when he found her searching his office for financial documents. You're serious? Dead serious. She's being charged with attempted fraud, breaking and entering, and violation of her restraining order. I hung up and told Patricia and Carlos. She never learns, Patricia said. What'll happen to her? I asked. With her record and the evidence against her, she's looking at 3 to 5 years minimum, Carlos estimated. There was a knock on the door. Tasha walked in, escorted by Marcus. "What's she doing here?" I asked. "She wanted to apologize," Marcus said. "Isaiah, I'm so sorry," Tasha said, tears streaming down her face. "I knew what Madison was planning, and I should have warned you." "Why didn't you?" I asked. "I was scared. Madison said she'd ruin me if I told anyone. But I realized I was protecting a criminal. I gave a full statement to the police." "Thank you for doing the right thing," I said. "Madison called me from jail," Tasha continued. "She wanted me to tell you she's sorry and that she really did love you." "No, she didn't," I said flatly. "She loved what she thought she could take from me." "That's what I told her," Tasha said. "She asked me to beg you to drop the charges." "The charges aren't mine to drop," Carlos said. "Once the state gets involved in fraud cases, it's out of the victim's hands." "She's going to prison, isn't she?" Tasha asked. "Yes," Carlos confirmed. "Between the charges here and in Miami, she'll likely serve 4 to 6 years. Tasha wiped her eyes. "Madison's father wants to apologize and offer restitution for your legal fees." "Tell him I don't want his money," I said. "I just want his daughter to stay away from me forever." After Tasha left, Patricia poured us glasses of scotch. "To justice," she toasted. "To justice," Carlos and I echoed. "So what now?" Carlos asked. "Back to work," I confirmed. "But this time, I'm done hiding who I am." "Smart," Patricia said. "And when you start dating again, maybe introduce them to your lawyer first?" We all laughed. My phone buzzed with a news alert. "Local attorney disbarred for fraud scheme. Heiress accomplice faces prison time." "It's already news," I said. "Good," Carlos said. "Let it be a warning to anyone else who thinks they can con their way to wealth." As I left Patricia's office that evening, I felt lighter than I had in months. Madison had tried to rob me of everything: my money, my trust, my future. Instead, she'd lost everything herself. Her freedom, her reputation, her family's support, all gone. Was it revenge? Maybe. But it felt more like justice. I'd learned that protecting yourself isn't paranoid, it's smart. I'd learned that not everyone who claims to love you actually does. And I'd learned that sometimes the best way to find out someone's true character is to give them the opportunity to show it. Madison had shown me exactly who she was, and I'd responded, not with emotion, but with evidence, lawyers, and the law. And that made all the difference. Have you ever had someone try to take advantage of you because they thought you were vulnerable? What would you have done in my situation? Confronted them immediately, or gathered evidence first? Like and subscribe for more stories about people who refused to be victims and fought back the right way.